Good morning, everyone. My name is Richard Evans with Calibre Yacht Sales, and we're really excited to share with you that we are the representatives for Helmsman Trawlers for Western Canada. Now, Helmsman is started off with the former Camano 31 molds, which many of you may be familiar with, but they've since expanded due to their popularity to many other models as well, including the two-cabin 37, the 38E Pilot House, which we're going to be showing you today, and the 43 as well. Now, there's many beautiful things about this boat. The boat comes ready to go. A lot of the popular items, including bow and stern thruster, which are standard on these vessels. Very, very few options that you might want to consider. But the other thing that you might want to know about is that these boats are semi-custom. So you can make your boat your way. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Come on aboard. Let's show you the quality and the beautiful layout of this vessel, and then we'll go from there. So there's many ways to access this boat. They come standard with port and starboard pilot house doors, but notice here as well that you can order the boat with gunnel doors to your side decks as well. This particular boat was ordered with both port and starboard gunnel doors or side deck doors. And notice here as well, access on both port and starboard on the cockpit as well, so you can board very easily no matter which side that you're tied up on. But look at this. Now this is pretty special. Isn't this cool? Look at this big double transom gate that opens onto this extended swim grid, all customizable. The original boat, if you just ordered the boat standard with the standard transom door, the transom door would fit right here. So you can board from the stern as well. But this particular owner decided that he wants to sit in the cockpit, to be able to sit in his chairs and increase the size of the cockpit and look out at the water without having the transom obstructing his view. And just look how spectacular this is. This is beautiful, just beautiful. And when you're underway, and then when you get to your destination, you open this up and you've got unobstructed view of the water. Isn't that great? So these are just a few of the modifications that the owner has asked for in delivering this boat. These staples, I want to point out that if you wanted to, you could remove these staples. They just pop right out, and then you've got nothing blocking your view of the ocean. That's beautiful. Now, the dinghy system here is the Seawise Davit system. This is ordered after he took delivery of the boat. Normally, a smaller dinghy is stored on top with a davit system, but in this particular case, the owner wanted a bigger dinghy, so he viewed for this configuration with the Seawise Davit system. Of course, the dinghy is extra. That doesn't come from the factory. Now here in the cockpit, we've got a good size here. Notice that you've got your house holes, both port and starboard as well as aft. Here we have hot and cold washdown from when you come in from swimming. You have just a huge locker to store, well, it looks like he's got just a monster crab pot down there, which you gotta have when you're in the Pacific Northwest. And this very skookum salon door that just closes like so, still allowing a lot of light in, but being very, very sturdily built so that if you're taking any waves over the stern, you don't have to worry about water getting inside. I love this. You've heard me talk about how important a rigid overhang is in the Pacific Northwest to protect you from sun, but also from rain. The owner told us of a story. We had a thunderstorm here a few weeks ago. It was spectacular. I mean, the house just shook. But he was at anchor when that happened, And they sat here in the cockpit and they had the double transom door open and they were just looking out at the ocean with the spectacular lightning that was happening, and they were perfectly dry, perfectly comfortable. Very ideal boat for this part of the world. Now, as good as all this is, come on inside. You're in for a treat when you have a look at the quality of the woodwork and joinery in here. Just look at the size of the space here. This combination of Salon and Galley going the full beam of the boat, 13 feet 11 inches, right from beam to beam. It's a massive space for a 40-foot boat. And just look at the quality of the woodwork in here. You know, you'd expect this quality of joinery and woodwork in boats much, much more expensive than this boat. And again, that's one of Helmsman's claim to fame. They've managed to build a spectacular boat with excellent quality at a very, very small price. Much smaller than what you would expect to pay with some other boats that are out there. Look at this, for example. Isn't that beautiful? Just beautiful. And this wainscoting in this headliner just gives it a rich, warm feeling. I mean, you'd want to spend time in this space here. Over here on the port side, look at all of these windows, and with these wooden blinds as well. Again, it's all customizable. You can put in whatever you want. The quality of the woodwork is just beautiful. The space feels warm and comfortable with all of this natural light coming in. Notice the screens in the windows, so great ventilation for those hot summer days. And look at the size of the opening window. I mean, you would be very, very comfortable in this space. And look at this. Look at this big door. When it's closed, it completely seals out all the weather. And it sounds, even the sound is so much quieter with this door. It's a very, very heavy construction. And before I open it again, look at the amount of light that comes in here. It's beautiful. You know what? I've sold other boats with a much, much higher price point than this. And the impression that I'm getting in this boat is this is great value for the price point. The quality in this boat is as good as that you would get in any other boat for up to 35–40% more. Let me just open this up. I want to show you something else. Look at this. Now, isn't that fabulous? Imagine yourself in this space here, looking out while you're preparing a meal or just visiting with your guests, and looking out at the water with no unobstructed view of with the transom in your way, just looking at the water. And that's what boating is all about. Isn't this great? Yeah, I really like this a lot. Loads of storage. 3 banks of drawers here. Deep stainless steel sink here. Storage below here. Another bank of 3 drawers there. And over here, again, keep in mind that this boat is semi-custom. You can order it the way you want it. The owner of this boat has asked for an induction stovetop with a convection microwave oven below. No propane at all, much safer, and of course induction stoves work very, very efficiently. Look at this here. While you're sitting in that settee right in behind me, there's your TV hidden away. And then when you're done, just put it away. Again, this beautiful window here. Imagine yourself standing here doing the dishes, looking out at that vista, the beautiful coastline that we have here. We got these reading lamps and spotlights all the way around the boat. Lots of storage here again. Overhead storage here. This one for glasses. This one could be for plates or pans or whatever you want. Just very, very ingenious. Even the overhead space is used for storage. And in here we got more storage again. And look at the size of this fridge and freezer. Isn't that great? Just beautiful. And of course it's all finished in that teak facing to blend in with the rest of the boat. Helmsman, I don't know how they've done it, but for the price point on this boat, the quality is amazing, just amazing. Look at that teak and holly floor. I just love it. It's just beautiful. This is nice. This is a convertible settee. Drop this down and it becomes a bed, a double bed. So now this becomes your guest's private space. All of this space with that beautiful, beautiful view of the water. How do we separate the space from the pilot house? Well, we do it with a curtain here and a curtain here, and you can have the factory install that for not a whole lot of money. So let's have a look down below here. Here is the day head, but it also becomes your guest's private head with their own shower. This has been so well thought out. Just a brilliant, brilliant design. And when just the two of you are out cruising, then this just becomes all your space. So moving up into the pilot house here, and I know I'm the teak guy, but everything in this boat is just so well crafted. It's just beautiful, just beautiful. So here we are in the pilot house. Again, the boat comes standard with pilot house doors, both port and starboard. And this settee, now this was a very, very clever modification on this settee. The owner wanted an additional single up here in the pilot house, and why not? It's a nice private separate space. And so what did he do? Well, he had the factory design this for him. These boards come out, this table goes down, this leg goes in there, and a cushion fits in there, and now this becomes a single bed. And it's not a compromised single bed. It is a bed to the standard dimensions of a single bed. The only change would be this curved cushion here, but this cushion can actually come out. Isn't that clever? And look how this hides away so beautifully and held in place. You wouldn't even know that that was part of the modification. It's just brilliant. So right here, right behind the helm seat, is a chart table. And below that, an accessory drawer for your remote controls. Below that, you have your AC/DC panels. And this adjustable helm seat. Adjusts up and down and back and forth. Your electronics, we can help you get very, very good pricing on the electronics of your choice. The boat comes with enough to get the boat underway, but the electronics would be your choice. Electronics, we're finding, are very, very personal, and we can commission the boat here, either in Seattle or here in Vancouver, and you choose the electronics that you want, and those will be installed. What the boat does come with is both bow and stern thrusters with a remote control for side power. Electronic controls to a Cummins common rail diesel, but there are many, many options for power. There's 5 different engine choices that you can make on this boat. The boat comes standard with 250 horse, which is plenty. Some people would want more. But the cool thing is electronic controls and common rail engines. So you have no smoke and very, very high fuel economy. Up here are your analog gauges for your fuel tanks and other your wiper controls, and your switches for your bilge pumps and shower sump. And notice your backward slanting Alaskan windshields. Just great for this part of the world. where we get frost in the morning sometimes, and it helps to keep the frost off the windows, and also helps to break any water that's breaking over the bow. Of course, again, with your comfort in mind, the center window has opening and on gas shocks. Accessibility to all of your electronics, very easy to get to. They've thought of everything here, so you don't have to tear your boat apart to install new electronics or to check existing electronics. Chart storage in here, and also a great place for your cruising guides and other references. Now, right here, the helm seat. Very comfortable, incredibly comfortable helm seat with a bolster. So for those who like to stand when they're underway, you've got something to lean against. It's a great feel. This is a good feel from this place. Great visibility. Looking forward here, you've got two doors to the pilot house so you can exit either port or starboard. And looking aft when you're backing up, there we go. I got perfect visibility. I've got maybe 10 degrees that I can't see with this bulkhead right here. But having said that, we have an option of putting in backup cameras for you as well. Isn't that cool? We've got a single up here, a single bed up here in the pilot house. This space blocks off the master cabin. Those curtains that we talked about earlier blocks off the salon and the settee. So now you have essentially 3 private sleeping spaces for you and your guests. Wonderful, wonderful design. Now, down below here, we have a queen-size bed, accessible from both sides, so you don't have to climb over each other when you want to get up in the night. The joinery and the teak down here is so luxurious and so warm. Oh, you're just going to love it. Now, plenty of storage. Hang-up locker to starboard, seat aligned, of course. The shower is a standalone shower, as I pointed out, with a teak bench in case you wanted to sit down while you're showering. It might be handy when you're underway. And this is really a great idea. You've got a head to port, and at the starboard is your shower. 2 are separated, so one is using the head, the other could be using the shower, and vice versa. Storage over top of the bedside table. Notice these big opening port lights that we have down here, giving you great ventilation, and of course that natural light. It's nice. And above we have a big hatch for even more natural light into this great space, and ventilation as well. Now, wasn't that beautiful? This is such a wonderful boat for the price point. You're going to be very happy with it. Now let's go up to the bridge. All of this is great, but the bridge is one of my favorite places, so follow me. Wow, just look at the size of this space. Isn't this beautiful? And just imagine yourself up here entertaining with 4 or 5 guests. Have a few chairs with a teak table up here, and just sitting here looking out at the beautiful views that you get here in the Pacific Northwest. Just a wonderful layout, very well thought out. Now in here we have the helm station and the bimini. The boat does not come with the bimini, but we can help you source it once we get it here to BC and have it commissioned. The radar arch is already in place for you to install the various antennae, as well as having access to the radar arch so that installation of your antennae will be very easy. Right here at the helm, we've got bow and stern thrusters, standard with the boat, analog engine gauges, which I really like. because it gives you an instant view of what's going on with your engines, the electronics that you would choose once the boat gets here. And again, we can help you get very, very good pricing on these electronics and your electronic engine controls. Now you've got a nice settee table, great spot to have lunch while you're up here and just looking at the beautiful scenery around you. And storage beneath these cushions here are really a nice feature. Isn't this great? Could you imagine yourself up here looking out at that anchorage, eh? I certainly can. Now, before we go down, I just want to point out this wonderful opportunity for solar panels. Just look at this massive space that you could put numerous solar panels, and as you know, they're getting very, very efficient, and solar panels are becoming much, much more popular than they used to be. But let's go down and I'll take you forward to the foredeck and I'll show you what's going on up there. That gradual rise of the stairs is both on port and starboard, so you have your choice. It just makes boating that much more convenient and easy for you. The boat is built with safety in mind. Just look at how high these safety rails are, and very solid, very well anchored into the deck, and very wide side decks as well. So here on the foredeck, just look at the quality of this hardware. A stainless steel 20 kilogram Bruce anchor with 200 feet of galvanized chain to pull it up with. A stainless steel bowsprit to hold the anchor, windlass with more than enough power to get that anchor up and down, and a Samson post, as well as deck switches, up and down controls, which is nice, all here. Beautiful, well done. Down right here on the starboard side is a locker for your fenders and your anchor washdown. Just beautiful. Look at the size of these line guides. Very, very overbuilt and typical of this boat, and all for the price point that we're talking about. It's just remarkable value. So let's have a look at the engine space. You're going to really like this. Very easy to access. There are two accesses to the engine space. Your main one is through here, but a second access to the engine space through the dayhead as well. So very easy to access, and just look at all the space down here. Now, I want to point out these very unique features. First boat that I've seen that instead of having to lift your floorboards, you've got access to all your critical valves just by reaching through there instead of having to pull your floorboards up. How great is that? Your raw water strainer, the same thing. All of your valves, just reach through the floorboard and just pull them up. Look at how clean and well organized this is. And you know what? When the boat arrived, everything was labeled. It wasn't necessary to try to match up your schematic to the various valves and everything else. Everything has a label on it. So wonderful, wonderful thoughts has gone into this. Comes standard with 2 heavy-duty batteries. Your batteries are very accessible, easy to get to. You have the option of adding to that if you wish. You also have the option of adding a generator at various sizes if you wish. Dual Raycor filters with a pressure valve on them, so you can switch from one to the other, and you can do it on the fly. This is one of the parts of this boat that impressed me immensely, because as you know, engine spaces can get cramped, and it's so typical. If you can't get to your engine, you're not going to maintain it. Rather than trying to contort your body around an engine to get to your dipstick, it's right there. How convenient is that, eh? Very easy to do your daily checks. Isn't this great? And of course, the hatches on gas shocks, very well insulated, easy to open and close. Driving this boat, first of all, the engine is so perfectly quiet. And when you turn on the generator, you don't even hear it when the engine's running. The sound deadening that has gone into this boat is remarkable. It's so comfortable and so easy to drive, especially with your bow and stern thruster. And in a chop or in a rough sea, on the stability of the boat, well, you're just going to be blown away. You can custom build this boat to whatever configuration that you want. What this means is that you can design and custom build the Helmsman that's right for you. So there you go, folks. A beautiful boat, very well crafted, quality that you would see in a much, much more expensive boat. So why pay more money? Give us a call. We'll get you on board, you'll see for yourself, and you'll be very glad you did.